Hey there, everybody. It's Mr. Voorhees here to answer questions that I'm sure have been on your mind for decades. If your question never got in, then feel free to send me another one, because I may do a second part if people still have inquiries for me. For now, though, let's get right to it.
Zetenian writes, I got blood on my suit. What's the best way of dealing with it?
Unfortunately, there is no way to get blood out of your suit. Even if you keep the stain from showing, your suit is permanently tainted and must be disposed of. Now, getting rid of a suit is a lot like getting rid of a body, in the same way that wearing a shoe is similar to wearing someone else's severed foot over your own foot. The point is, you need to leave nothing behind. Throw the body in a thresher, then throw the blood-stained ground in a thresher, and throw the thresher in a much larger thresher, and throw that thresher and the shrapnel it created into a black hole. You know, simple stuff.
IceDog225 writes, Gah! Why are your songs on Raffle Track so long? It's impossible to find anything short enough to step with my short attention span. Blah! Also dinner tonight.
Has it ever occurred to you that the problem might not occur with me, but with society for foisting so short an attention span upon you? The only way to kick that habit is with another habit. I suggest drinking insane amounts of coffee until you don't even remember how not to pay attention to trivial and minute things. Until then, I bid you good day, you pathetic short attention span having little person.
Stopper Zapper asks, why is Mojo Jojo?
Because nobody else will. Thanks for writing.
Eric Carlson writes, if you had to pick a TF2 class that describes your sex life, what class would that be?
I would compare it to a 2-Fort sniper with genuine skill, in that it doesn't exist.
What is a man?
Says Zelda Link 78.
Webster's dictionary defines a man as a noun referring to adult human beings who are biologically male, that is, physiologically equipped to initiate conception, but not to bear children. Okay, fine.
A miserable little pile of secrets!
Zanny77 asks, who is your greatest influence when it comes to pooping, or YTPMBs, or whatever?
Off the bat, I'm gonna say that I don't really have any influence for YTPMV making, because just about every other YTPMV maker makes original songs or covers of songs out of source material now, while I pretty much write original songs with music programs and use source materials for sampling, not necessarily for melody. For YouTube poops, it's been varied, but most frequently I've been inspired by Ophios, Tim AJH, WikiWow, Welt, and BMATF. My Gmod video inspirations also come from a wide range of sources, but most of them from Minifet and MentalMate. Hydrolcore asks, what other games do you play besides Garry's Mod? Well, it kinda goes without saying, for starters, that I really like Team Fortress 2 and the rest of Valve's pantheon, although I have yet to get into Left 4 Dead. I do like a lot of other games, too. My absolute favorite is the Thief series of games by Looking Glass Studios. I'm also really big into Serious Sam, Bioshock, Grim Fandango, Psychonauts, rhythm games such as Rock Band and Audio Surf, and classic games from the 80s and 90s, and numerous others that I probably couldn't list in a single video. Unless, of course, it were a top 10 list or something.
Theatenfit asks, what is your favorite video out of all the ones you've made?
At the risk of sounding cliched, I don't know if I could narrow it down to just one. I tend not to pick favorites, though there are a few videos I'm not particularly happy with. If I had to pick favorites, though, I'd only be able to do it after narrowing it down into specific categories. My favorite Billow video I've made is Billow is So Kooky. My favorite Robotnik video is Robotnik is Recession Proof. My favorite YTPMV is Little Cheese Sandwiches. My favorite Gmod video is Wacky Shenanigans. And my other favorites that don't fall into any particular category are A Clown Is Not a Big Pie, Chester Does Not Enjoy the Company of Old People, Pie Right, the numerous tomfooleries of the blue guy and that green guy, and Strong Golf 64.
Laserface Jones asks, what's your favorite poop you've done? Wait a minute.
At the risk of sounding cliched, Okay. We're moving on.
Oh my gosh, it's a leg, right? I enjoy your poops and YTPMBs a bunch, but I wish to know, why have you not done more videos like your YTPMB rant, in which you talk about your opinions? I have to say that personally, I like to have random people on the internet ram their opinions down my throat, especially when they have a wonderful voice like yours. P.S. Seriously, your voice is awesome. Do you voice act professionally?
First of all, thank you very much. To answer your question, I'm not sure what else I could say about YTPMVs or YouTube poop that would merit another video-length rant. I could think of many things to record rant videos about, but they wouldn't be about YouTube poop. For that, I might as well create another channel, though. And as for voice acting professionally, that's something I've considered doing and I'd really be interested in doing, but I haven't really taken it up. I've tried to build up some chops about voice acting in online projects that friends come up with, but they always end up falling through. As it is, the only thing on the internet that actually has my voice acting in it is the Midnight Frogs one-shot Pokemon Mystery Dungeon abridged video, which I highly recommend you check out here. I voice electrically charged Rodentia.
Video Game Boy 999 asks, what's your Steam name? Mine is DickJoke77.
My Steam name is Mr. Vorhias.
Steve Oziak writes, when does That's Our Demo Man air?
During Sweeps Week, of course.
Steve Oziak also writes, what do you think of the Counter-Strike Source update?
I don't play Counter-Strike Source, so I can't really say anything about it.
Steve Oziak writes again, when did you get Gmod?
Mr. Badaxe, my brother, gave it to me last Christmas as a present. Yay.
Steve Oziak writes yet again, when did you get Team Fortress?
See previous response. Double yay.
Steve Oziak once more writes, when and how did you get into PC gaming?
I've always been into PC gaming. My parents wouldn't let me have a console in the house, so pretty much all of my best video gaming memories take place on a PC. I grew up with Doom, Commander Keen, Monkey Island, Descent, and a whole bunch of other classic PC gaming gems.
Oh look, another one from Steve Oziak. He's asking, what consoles do you own?
I currently own a PC, if you want to count that, a GameCube, an Xbox 360, and an old Game Boy Pocket, and a slew of different emulators.
Not Steve Oziak. Just kidding, it's Steve Oziak again. He writes, do you own a Mac?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I own a MacBook Pro that my parents bought me for college work, but I primarily use it to write music and edit videos with using the software
iMovie! I use iMovie to edit YouTube poop! That is the software I use! iMovie! Not Vegas, or Premiere, or Final Cut, or Windows Movie Maker, or any of those! I use iMovie!
I also have a few scattered games on it, like Plants vs. Zombies and Armageddon Advanced. Cough, cough.
Gargamon251 writes, will you ever do more YTPMVs like the good old days of Visual Abominations?
I do plan on making YTPMVs and YTP music again someday. It all pretty much hinges upon whether or not I can get inspired by a source or something like that. I never planned on Visual Abominations, which you can now download for free at breakbitmusic.com, to be the only YTP album I make.